Well, hello there everybody. Welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a Walthers Fairbanks Morse H-10-44. This little switcher is owned by the Canfield War Veteran Museum, and I'm donating some of my time and resources to repair this locomotive for them as they are in some desperate need of some help. Hopefully this will be the first of many videos of such a series where we're taking a look at repairing some models in need of help. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So this particular Walthers unit is having an issue with a dead short. It does not have DCC in it. It is just a straight DC locomotive. When we put it on the track and tried to run it, it's a dead short immediately. Which is kind of odd for these Walthers units because normally these are very reliable. Normally they don't have these kind of problems. So today we're going to investigate that, see what's wrong with it, hopefully get it fixed. I got the body shell off here just by taking the coupler boxes off. It reveals a very nice die-cast chassis with a 5-pole skew-wound motor, and as you'll see going forward that this is not like the older Proto 2000 units where it is basically an Athearn drive. Alright, so I took the shell off, and I got this top weight off of here. There was this small circuit board on here. I don't even know if I'd call it a circuit board, like a bus board or something like that, where your pickup leads were soldered to. It's also got your headlight bulb, which I may look into replacing that with an LED. We'll get to that. However, a bigger problem is these contacts were very, very loose in the trucks. Actually, 3 of the 4 of them came right out with no problem. So we're going to have to take the trucks off of here and figure out why they're so loose. Alright, so I got the trucks off the engine. Of interesting note, I was originally under the impression that this was basically just like a knockoff Athearn drive, where if you just pop off the top gear covers there, the whole truck would come off. But it turns out, see that little screw right there? Well, that screw goes into these holes in the frame, and that's your truck pivot point. So I'll show you a little bit better when I go to put this thing back together. Anyway, I think this locomotive has been broken into before because all of the contacts should have this little plastic retainer on them, and all the pins on all these ones are broken off. So these contacts were quite literally just sitting on top of the wheels, probably arcing to the frame, hence why this thing was coming up with a dead short. I'm going to have to figure something out for those. I'm really tempted to drill those out and maybe 3D print some new clips to hold those in. I guess we'll have to wait and see what I can come up with. Alright guys, so this is the design that I came up with, and as you can see it's really simple. I am going to have to drill out the original mounting pegs on the truck, so I'm going to have to drill them out to 1.5 millimeters instead of just 1 millimeter. I wanted to give them a little bit of extra beef to them. So that's what we went with. So I'm going to get this on the printer, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Alright, so I got the first truck reassembled. This will focus. There you go. You see the new 3D printed clips on there. They're holding nice and firm, nice and sturdy. I'm going to show you how I did it on the other truck, which I have not done yet. So I took the cover plate off, which also holds the side frames on. Okay, you can see the gearing in the trucks there.
It all looks pretty good. I don't think I'm going to have to really do much else with it. Maybe other than a basic servicing. But I kind of want to get these contacts done first and see if that's what the problem was. It's not really a great design if you need to go in and service these, because those little pins are very small, and if you ever need to take the contacts out for any reason, it's next to impossible to get them out without breaking those little pins off. What you saw in the CAD model is I just made the pins an actual part of the clip itself. So now what we're going to do is we are going to drill out the spots on the trucks here. So I'm just going to go right here where that pin broke off where it used to be, and I'm just going to drill through with pilot holes. I think this is a number 61 drill bit. And then we're going to step up to a larger drill bit that's roughly 1.5 millimeters. Alright, now you can see the pilot holes are drilled, and I just drill all the way through the back. So now I'm going to go in with this bigger drill bit and just enlarge the hole really, really carefully. It's a pretty aggressive drill bit, so you gotta be careful not to go too crazy with it. It's also very important to get your pilot holes as centered as you possibly can, because that will help guide your drill bit and make it less likely for you to get the hole off kilter. Yeah, this stuff just drills so nice and easy, this engineering plastic. It is so easy to drill. There's no need to rush it or anything else. Just really slow turns. Alright, so now that those holes are drilled, while we have the truck frame off, we're going to test fit these plastic covers. You can see that side's a perfect fit. Sits right down in there, and there you go. So yeah, both sides fit in there really good. So now we can begin reassembly. So I'm going to put the truck back together first. These side frames do not go on in a particular way. Doesn't really matter. The bottom gear cover does, however. So there is a particular way that the gear cutouts line up. So just make sure you get that going the right way. Although I'm pretty sure you would be able to figure it out very quickly if you didn't have it the right way. So now we're going to take our contacts. Now our contacts still have a smaller hole in them, so we need to enlarge this hole. And what I do for that, put my finger in behind where the hole is, and then I take my drill bit and I just very carefully twist. And you have to support it, because if not, you're going to bend the contact, because you're dealing with very thin phosphor bronze, and you don't want to bend these up too bad. These will break if they get bent too many times. So you just got to be nice and gentle when you're enlarging these holes. And you're really not enlarging them by a lot. You're only enlarging them by about 0.5 millimeter, at least with these particular pins. But it still could be enough to cause them to get broken. So now I'm going to take our little plastic cap, I'm going to stick it into the contact, and then we're going to push the contact all the way flush with the bottom of the clip here, at least as close to flush as you can get it. That's pretty good. So this is the glue that I'm using on these little contact clips. It's an evergreen canopy glue. It's a PVA glue. So unlike super glue, it will not cause any fogging of the plastic or any other issues like that. So with the glue on there, we're just gonna press this down into the mounting pins till it seats firmly. It's gonna be hard to see that. Now it's firmly seated in there, and it ain't going anywhere. So once again, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Gonna just slip that contact through the pins on the printed part. Make sure the contacts are bent the way that we need them. And they're pretty clean, so I don't think I'm going to worry about cleaning those. We are going to clean the wheels though, because they are really, really bad. And you don't need a lot of glue on these. I'm only putting a little bit on in case we ever need to take these contacts back off for any reason. Just going to find where the mounting holes are. Now they're in there. So now, as you can see, the clips are in place. They're firmly seated in there. We're going to give this a little bit of time to dry, so that way when we go to put everything back together, these don't just pull right back out. So I'm going to give these a couple hours, and then we will come back to this for reassembly, and hopefully everything will work. It's actually been a couple days since I worked on this, but anyway, so I was mentioning earlier on that this is a little bit of a different design compared to what I thought this was going to be. And if I kind of just set the frame down over this, you'll notice that there's a hole down in the frame right there that lines up with that threaded hole on the truck. And then this spring and this screw go in there. Maybe other Walthers engines are like that. Comment down below if you've seen another one like this. But yeah, I kind of like this design. I feel like it's a little more robust than the old Athearn Blue Box chassis, where the top clip on the truck, on the gearbox, actually holds the truck in, and then there's just a kingpin on the frame. So I actually kind of like this. It's an extra step, but I feel like it takes a lot of pressure off that gear case cover. So I'm going to get this other truck assembled here, and then get everything put back together, and we'll see if this thing will work. Alright, so now that everything's put back together, I've got my MRC Tech 4 controller set up here. And it runs pretty good. It's a little erratic right now because the wheels are pretty dirty, but it is running, which is the important thing. I do think we are going to go ahead and replace that with an LED, so let me do that, and then we'll be right back to test it after that. Alright, so I got the wheels cleaned up, and as you can see, I installed a 3mm flat top LED, which is much brighter. It unfortunately does not work in reverse because of how LEDs are wired up, but this engine's going to be running forward 99% of the time anyway, so I don't think this will be a problem. Gets down to a nice slow crawl as well. So yeah, I think this is ready to go back together. Alright, so here's the Fairbanks Morse H-10-44 put back together, at least as good as it can be with the parts that were here. Still missing some handrails, unfortunately. I moved both of the footboards up to the front pilot since this thing's going to be running forward. So I don't have footboards on the back, unfortunately. And again, missing some more handrails back here. If anybody's got any leads on where I can find the handrails for these, let me know. Otherwise, maybe someday down the road, I will make a new set of handrails for this and I'll make a video about it. But for right now, I just wanted to focus on getting this engine operable and at least looking about as good as it possibly can. If you would like to stop by and visit the Canfield War Veteran Museum, it is open on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in Canfield, Ohio. If you look up Canfield War Veteran Museum, you'll probably find some more information. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we will catch you next time.
'64 08 holds it up.